There is no perfect scenario to receive the news that your former best friend is dead, but perhaps the worst scenario is at 16 while you're stoned out of your mind. I certainly applaud God. Or the universe, or whatever. Oh, they really got me with that one. Killing my estranged first love, who I had just recently betrayed through an act of lust and loneliness in a horrific freak accident? Bold, for sure. Tragic, even. Traumatic, some might say. Plummeting 38,000 feet into a Massachusetts home, hitting the ground at 120 miles an hour, and if the fall wasn't enough to kill her, burning alive in the cockpit along with her parents. Surprisingly, the mere nature of her death was not enough to get those cosmic rocks off. No, everyone involved has to writhe and suffer until they themselves return to dust. What a suffering it is. I mean, people say some stupid shit to you when you're grieving. I want to write a book about that. Excuse me, sir, could you tell me again why you thought it appropriate to refer to my friend's death as kicking the bucket? I would love to ask that question. I would also love to ask my former Taco Bell manager, Angie, what possessed her to ask me if there was even enough left of her for a funeral. Or why, in God's name, why, does everyone just have to remind me how shitty it was to sleep with Nicole's ex-girlfriend? Yes, believe it or not, I am fully aware of the shittiness. And, you know, if I knew Nicole was gonna die, I probably wouldn't have done it in the first place. It all just seems so horrible and disrespectful. And even now, 5 years later, it feels horrible and disrespectful to talk about her like this. In such a public situation where everyone gets to know that I broke my friend's heart because I was too selfish to process my sexuality, and then I slept with her ex-girlfriend, and then she died. It's just so unfair that my friends and her friends had to go through that. And her sister, the only one who wasn't on that plane, had to go through that alone. At least we had each other. So we did cocaine. Okay, well, actually, I was the only one that did the coke, but why wouldn't I? I mean, I would totally do coke if that happened again. In fact, I've done coke for a lot less. I know you have too. Sometimes I have these dreams that we're in our house playing a game like hide and seek or something. And I can never catch her. I'll sometimes catch a glimpse of her hair. I can also see a bit of her shoulder, you know, like the back of her. She looks burnt.